Hey guys, welcome back to episode 10 of From Beginner to iPad Pro. Today's 5 tips are ones that I think a lot of people walk right past every day without knowing they're there. Let's get into it. Okay, so for tip number 1, did you know your iPad can actually identify things in your photos? Like if you take a photo of a plant, an animal, a landmark, or even food, your iPad can tell you exactly what it is. It's called Visual Lookup and it's a fun one to play around with. Let me show you how it works. Okay, so what we want to do is open up the Photos app. And then here I've saved a few photos to show you how it works, but you should be able to use any photo that's in your photo library as long as it's food, animals, plants, or a landmark. So here, if we click on this food here, so then we want to come up to this icon here. This is the visual lookup icon. So it's like an eye with the little stars around it. If it doesn't have the stars around it, it means it can't pick up anything in the image. So if we click on the image, so you can see it has worked for this image. And then if we click on food, it's going to show us results on what the food actually is in that image. So it's picked up, it's a lentil risotto, which that's what it was. You can see this one here. It has the little stars. We'll click on it. We'll go food. And it's picked up, it's a tiramisu, which is correct. So it's also really good with animals. So here's a picture of my cat. And so if we come up to the visual lookup button, it's already picked up that it's a cat. And if we click on that, it actually tries to work out what breed it is. Now, I don't actually know what breed my cat is. She was a rescue cat. But, by looking at these photos, it's sort of giving me an idea. Like, yes, she does look similar to a few of these. So she could be a Norwegian forest cat or a Siberian cat. Who knows? But it is really interesting. So also for landmarks, so let's open this photo up here and click on the visual lookup. It's picked up that it's a landmark and it's the Whitby Abbey, which it is. So this won't work on every image, but it does work on a lot, just depending on how clear the subject is. But also, like for this one here, if I open it up, the photo is focusing on my NAS here, but there is a plant in the background, but it has picked up something. So we have the eye with the stars. So it has picked up something and it has picked up the plant. So if we go into this, it's showing the type of plant that it's picked up. And this is actually just a fake plant, but yeah, it has picked up the plant, which is really cool, even though it's not the subject of the photo. This can be really handy. I've actually used it a few times for plants. You can use it for like birds and stuff like that if you're out and about and you take a photo of a bird and you want to know what it is. So this one here, you can see it's picked up. It's an Australian white ibis, also known as a bin chicken in Australia because they love eating out of the bins. So yeah, this is a fun one to play around with, so make sure you go give it a try. This one is perfect if you've ever handed your iPad to your kids, you know what it's like. You put a video on for them and within 30 seconds they've somehow closed out of it, ended up in your settings, and who knows what else. Well, there's a feature called guided access that locks your iPad to just one app, so they can't go anywhere else. And it's not just for kids, it's also really handy for things like presentations or if you just want to stay focused in one app without accidentally swiping away. Let me show you how to set it up. To use guided access, you need to first turn it on. So to do that, we want to go into our settings and then you want to go to accessibility. And then if we scroll down to guided access, we want to turn that on. So we'll click here and then you just want to switch the toggle on. And then we have a few settings here that we can do. So you can set a passcode or use your Face ID to unlock it. So if we set a passcode, I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4 for this demonstration. But obviously you would want to do something that the person who you're passing the tablet to won't know if you don't want them to get out of it. But I also actually just like my Face ID. It's a lot quicker to unlock things. And then if we come back, you have a few other settings, but I find everything is okay just as is. So to start guided access, all you need to do is triple click the button on the side here. So I'll show you how to use it properly. So let's say I'm going to give my iPad to one of my kids to watch YouTube Kids. So we'll open up YouTube Kids. So once you're in the app, all you need to do is triple press this button on the side, 1, 2, 3, and then it opens up this guided access. So then once you're on this screen, all you need to do is hit start and you can start using it straight away. Or if there's anywhere on the screen that you don't want them to be able to press, you can actually circle the areas on the screen and it will disable that so they can't click into anything else. But I'll first just show you what it's like without doing that. So we'll just go straight in and hit start. So now you can see that they can use the app. They have full access to the app, but they can't swipe out of it. See, I'm trying to like swipe up, can't get out of the app. So then they can just start watching a video. They can change in between videos, but they can't get out of the app. If you want to get out of the app, it's just a triple press on here and then it will be my Face ID, or if you're using the pin. So 1, 2, 3, and then it uses my Face ID and then it takes you back out and you can just go and then now it's normal. You can swipe out of the guided access. You can also disable parts of the screen. So let's say we want to open up this YouTube video. And then if we turn it on, we can triple press. Oops, it just needs my Face ID. And then it's going to turn it on. So now we can circle areas on the screen to disable them. So let's just say I don't want them to have access to anything down here. I'm going to put a circle. See how it puts out this gray area box? You can put that box there. And then let's say I don't want them to be able to click on these videos. We can put a circle around that as well. And then if we come up here to resume or start, now that you cannot click on any of these things. So you can still play, pause the video, press stuff up here, but you cannot click on any of these things that are grayed out. So you can use guided access with any app on your iPad. It's not just for YouTube and watching videos. You can use it when you're playing games or anything like that. So it can be really helpful to keep things locked down in just that one app. This one is a really simple one, but makes such a difference. If you've ever wanted better sound quality when you're watching videos or listening to music on your iPad, you can connect any Bluetooth speaker wirelessly, and it only takes about 30 seconds to get it set up. Let me show you how. Okay, so for this one, the first thing you'll need to do is grab your Bluetooth speaker. So I have mine here. Every speaker is going to be a little bit different for pairing. So to connect this Bluetooth speaker to my iPad, what we need to do is first go into our settings, and then we want to come over here to Bluetooth. And then once you're in the Bluetooth settings, you need to turn on your Bluetooth speaker. So to turn on this Bluetooth speaker here, there is just my power button. So we'll turn that on. And this Bluetooth speaker actually has a pairing button here. So you can see the Bluetooth symbol right here. Usually for a lot of speakers, it could just be pressing and holding down on the power button until the lights start flashing on the speaker. So for this one, you just need to press the Bluetooth button down and now we have a flashing light. So usually when you have a flashing light, that means it's in pairing mode. And so if we come over to our iPad, we can actually see that the Blue Ant X 3D Max, which is this speaker, has appeared down here. And then we need to click on that. You can see now it's stopped flashing. We can see it in our My Device list. So the Blue Ant speaker here is under My Device. It's now connected. We can see over here it's connected. So now we can use it. So if we go over to YouTube and select a video.
Hey guys, in today's video we're taking a look at...
And so now you can hear the audios coming out of the Bluetooth speaker. So this is really great if you want to play music around the house or anything like that, or if you just want better sound quality out of your iPad, you can connect a Bluetooth speaker. This is also a really good speaker. I'll leave it linked in the description below if you want to check it out. But this will work with any Bluetooth speaker you have lying around the house and you can connect it to your iPad. This one ties in perfectly with what we've just covered. Now you've got your Bluetooth speaker connected. Did you know you can switch between your audio sources right from the video you're watching? So whether that's your iPad speakers, your AirPods, or your Bluetooth speaker, you can switch between them without going back into the settings. So let's open up YouTube, and if we play this video, you can hear the audio is coming out of the iPad. But I also have AirPods in. So if I wanted to have the audio come out of my AirPods or even my Bluetooth speaker, we can easily change that without going into the settings. So what we want to do is open up the control panel. If you swipe down on the side of your screen up the top here, you can see this little media player right here. And then there is this little icon here. And if we click on that within the media player, it's going to give us our different audio sources to choose from. We just connected our Bluetooth speaker, so we have an extra option there. So we have our Bluetooth speaker right here. And if I select that and then hit play on the video, the audio will come to that.
Today I've got 5 tips that I think are going to...
But then if I wanted it to come out of my AirPods, I could come in here and select my AirPods, and then now I would be able to hear it in my AirPods. Also, if you open up your control panel and you find you don't have this widget here, you can easily add it by going to this plus icon, and then you go add a control, and you can either just scroll through here and look for it, or in the search you just write now playing, and it's right here. You just tap on that and it will add it into your control panel, and then you will be good to go. Okay, tip number 5. This one is for anyone who uses the Notes app to save ideas, do research, or keep things organized. You can save any web page directly into a note without having to copy and paste anything. It takes about 2 seconds and it's really handy. Okay, so let's open up Safari. And then you just want to browse to any web page that you want to save. So let's say we want to go to the Apple Store and have a look at the iPad Pro. So let's say I was doing research on the iPad Pro and I wanted to save this web page into my notes so I can view it later or easily find it again. All we need to do is come up here to the share icon and press on that. And then you can see we have notes right here. If we click on notes, it's going to add a link to this web page in our notes. So you can save it to a new note, or if you have any folders set up in your notes app, you can select one of them. But I'm just going to go notes, and then you can create a note. And if you want to add any text for later to remind you about something, you can add it here. Check out the iPad Pro. And then you'll just come up to save, and that will save it straight into your notes. So now if we come out of Safari and we go and open up the Notes app, so you can see under Notes where I've saved it, it's added my note in here. And so now we can come in here and add more information to our note if we wanted, or if we want to go back to this exact web page, we just click on this and it will take us straight into the web page we were just viewing. That's all 5 tips for episode 10. Let me know which one was your favorite in the comments below, and also let me know which country you're watching from. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more iPad tips. You can also check out the full From Beginner to iPad Pro playlist here if you want to keep watching, and I'll see you in the next video.